Beware, beware, the daughter of the sea. Beware, I heard him cry. His words carried upon the ocean breeze as he sank beneath the tide. I don't know why that song is in my head, but it has been, so you guys need to get it into your heads as well. It's been 2 days. I can't get rid of the song. It's just there. I keep repeating it over and over again. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot of things to cover today. And yes, it's an in-game book that's been found in 10.2. It hints at Avaloran. It hints at potentially the next expansion for World of Warcraft. I am super excited for this one. So for this video, I'm going to do something truly revolutionary. I'm going to read the things on the screen, and then we're going to talk about it. Let's go. In the days when the Kingdom of Dragons was young, brave Erenethria's emerald wings soared above the clouds. The fastest flyer of her day, she feared no enemy, nor would she back down from any challenge. Alas, her courage would be her undoing. Erenethria had flown to the far corners of Kalimdor and back. She had witnessed wondrous sights and loved to share stories of them with her kin. Yet there came a day when Erenethria felt she had seen all there was to see of the world. She grew bored, restless. And here we get into the truly interesting stuff. Erenethria sought the wisdom of Keeper Tyr. Great Keeper, is there any mystery left for me to discover? Any riddle yet to be solved? Everything you need is here, child. What more could you want to see? What else could you seek to know? Of course, we know the Titans, we know their keepers. They're not really into the whole solving mysteries thing, you know, they prefer to lock mysteries up as much as possible. They're not really out to seek wisdom, if that is, and specifically not from mortal beings. You know, these beings should be kept in the dark as much as possible, as the Tyr edicts show us, as well as the Odin edicts show us. As the dragon's brow furrowed, a cool wind blew in from the west. The breeze, Great Keeper. I wish to see the place from whence the winds are born. Tyr grew solemn. Beyond the storming sea, please note that it is both capital S's used for storming sea, lies only ruin. Stay close to home, stay close to kin. Now, Tyr would be saying this. First, I think it's very important here. The capitalization of storming seas suggests that this is the name that Titans have for that specific sea. We have this in the Traveler series as well, by the way, where basically it is accepted that you cannot sail around the other side of Azeroth. The way you get from Kalimdor to the Eastern Kingdoms and back is very much set in stone. You can't go the other way around. Many sailors have tried to do that the other way around, mainly because, you know, adventure, or maybe they thought it could be quicker. None have yet to return. Now, it could be that Azeroth is so large that they're still sailing, or it could be what the Titans explain in the books we found earlier in World of Warcraft Dragonflight, where it basically speaks about a land called Avaloran. Now, the storming seas suggest that the sea themselves are very, very treacherous there. Maybe sea monsters, maybe some big dark things that was never meant to be in our world was kept out there. But we also know that Avaloran is a place that the Titan Keepers sent multiple extraction teams to Avaloran in trying to bring the rebels back to face justice or to maybe be reprogrammed or whatever, and none of these extraction forces made it out alive. They were pretty much all either slaughtered or they joined the other side. We don't know. That's the problem. No one has ever returned from Avaloran. No one knows what is on Avaloran. But this actually speaks to that, and we kind of know that there is at least one green dragon in Avaloran, because it continues. Tyr's warning hung like a shadow over Erenethria's heart. It clashed again and again with her deep yearning for answers. One bright morning, the green dragon bid farewell her clutchmates. "Fear not," she told them, "for I can fly higher than any storm, faster than any thunder, and when I know from whence the west winds come, I shall return home and tell you all." And with that, Erenethria soared into the sky. Moons passed, and still more, yet brave Erenethria did not return. Even Ysera woke from her dreaming to aid in the search, but there was no sign to be found. Most believe that Erenethria was lost to the storming sea, that her mighty wings grew tired and torn by the harsh winds, and that she stumbled into the roiling waters. Again, we have never seen these storming seas, but everything they explain here means I really want to see them. It sounds like it's very chaotic outside of our little haven. Now, my theory is that our little haven is a haven because the Titans set up some kind of barrier to keep any of the darkness out. We could probably leave it, but once you're out, you can't get back in. That's been my theory up until now for why no one has ever returned from the storming seas or from sailing across the other side of Azeroth. But maybe it is just that the seas are incredibly rough there and it's nigh impossible to do. But some Greens claim that they saw her in their dreams, that she reached a land beyond where she raised a brood of her own. Now that, dear friends, is very interesting, that she raised a brood of her own. So one thing is for certain, or at least if their dreams are to be believed, there are green dragons, primordial green dragons, on Avaloran. My thinking about this is twofold. It could be one of these two things. Either everyone that arrives on Avaloran is slaughtered instantly by whatever entities exist on Avaloran, because the land beyond here can only really point to Avaloran, or everyone that arrives on Avaloran instantly realizes and sees the truth of what our universe actually is. Remember, Avaloran would be the closest thing to the untouched dark or black empire of World of Warcraft, because Avaloran existed outside of the scope of the Titans. The Titans could never get there in order to enact their order. So it is possible that when beings arrive on Avaloran, they realize just how full of shit the Titans actually were, and they choose never to return, or if they are just slaughtered. We genuinely don't know. But it continues and says, "Surely, after all these ages, we must accept the truth of her loss. While we honor her courage, we must remember the wisdom she failed to heed. Beyond the storming sea lies only ruin. Stay close to home, stay close to kin. Beware, beware, the wind from the west. Its call holds only doom. For if you take wing across the storm and sea, you shall share Erenethria's tomb." A bit of propaganda there, most likely. So this is Self-Baking Herb-Based Cookies is the book from which this comes from. Seemingly mistitled, maybe in order to hide this particular story from whoever, right? Most likely from the Keepers, since they really abhorred any sort of messaging that would take away from their truth or whatever you want to view it. Personally, I love this idea. I've spoken about this during the Dwarf expansion leaks over on the Clips channel. We spoke on this on Twitch multiple times. In my estimation, all of the current leaks can be very true. We've had sort of leaks that the next expansion is going to be pirate-based. Many people asked, please, no pirates. We had leaks that it's going to be dwarven-based. Some people are saying, please, no dwarfs. I say both of these things can be true at the same time. If we are going to Avaloran in the next expansion, arguably, neither the Horde or the Alliance have the fleets currently at their disposal to take us there. So we're going to need to enlist some kind of privateer help. That is the pirate expansion right there. Dwarfs? Of course not. Why the hell? Avaloran, or of course, why not? Sorry, not of course not. What the hell was I saying there? Why not? Right? Because here you have... The history of the dwarves are very much forgotten. Most dwarves do not remember the earliest years of the Dwarven rebellion, if we can put it that way, right after the Curse of Flesh was installed upon them. However, we will now be going to Avaloran, a land untouched by the lies of the Titans, where the ancestors of the dwarfs, the original keepers that would eventually get the Curse of Flesh and then be turned, maybe they even did get the Curse of Flesh, we don't know, but we are going to meet dwarfs that are completely untouched by the lies and the corruption of the Titans, by the lies and the corruption of the old gods. They have been existing there for hundreds of thousands of years, completely untouched by anything. So in my estimation, why wouldn't we get dwarven knowledge there? We pretty much know we won't really get troll knowledge there because the trolls didn't seem to venture that far out. They were very much sainted in the old Kalimdor Land of Eternal Stars sort of place. But the dwarves we know went there, right? They left to go to Avaloran because the keepers left to go to Avaloran. So yeah, I can see both of these being very, very true. And it makes logical sense, not to mention it would be really, really cool. But anyways, that's it for me. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this. Also remember to subscribe over on Patreon to support this channel and make sure that there are no sponsor reads on this channel. I really appreciate any and all support. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, be kind to each other, and I will see all of you in the next one. Peace.